Do we realize that we experience emotion in sales?
I knew what to do and where to call, but I felt kind of fear of making the first phone call.
Because people are under huge pressure and are not able to deal with it. Today we are talking about emotions in sales.
Yes, exactly.
Emotion in sales. Do we experience emotion in sales? Or should I ask, do we realize that we experience emotion in sales?
Well, this is a good question. I think it can be a challenge. Let's take last Monday, for example. I planned to have a session on 10 a.m., but I sat down to work and something funny happened. I knew what to do and where to call, but I felt kind of fear of making the first phone call.
Wow, what's happened next?
As usual, I had a lot of ideas what I could do to avoid the phone call session. So these days, I'm able to realize when the emotions are appearing and I know how to deal with it. In this case, I was able to work it through to have a phone call session. But in the past, I would abandon session because of my emotions.
Amazing. This is a great story. It's funny how often we don't recognize that we make decisions based on emotions. Well, in your case, the decision was to call or not to call. The problem is, if an emotion is not recognized and not dealt with properly, it will impact us. In the short term, we just simply do or don't do things. In the long term, it could damage our business. What would happen if I missed half of my calling sessions?
Well, your sales will probably be by cut by half.
Well, exactly, or maybe even worse.
Yeah.
It can be much more serious in the longer term. It can even damage our mental health. I think that a lot of mental health problems, like burnouts, for example, happen because people are under huge pressure and are not able to deal with it.
Mhm.
I work on a daily basis with sales consultants, managers, and other business people, and I have observed something really interesting. I
Mhm.
think this mechanism is common for all people. It's psychological, call it rationalization.
Well, how does it work actually?
Well, in this context, well, you know, you know that you need to call people and you know that you need to book appointments to maintain business.
Mhm.
You have a plan to do it. You are mentally prepared to do it. You know this is exactly what you need to do. Let's say this is a top priority for you for that day. You sit down with your phone in your hand and you start to feel, well, unpleasant emotions. In most cases, you want to run away from this experience. But at the same time, you know that the calling session is crucial for your business. So we have a strong internal conflict here. And a person who is in this state and isn't able to break the cycle will find a reason.
Mhm.
Actually, if someone is going to abandon a task, I would like to say they have to find a reason. It's a self-defense mechanism to maintain our internal cohesion. For example, they will find an excuse which will explain why the person is not able to call. Well, usually this is something simple like
Yeah.
the office is messy. I need to clean it right now, or the car is not refueled. I have to go to the petrol station right now, or maybe the weather is so good. This is sunny day. I need to use the opportunity to spend some time outside, and well, usually this is like, okay, that's the excuse, and that's not a problem. I will do my calling session later on, tomorrow. Yes, I will do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I heard that many times. I will do it tomorrow. Yeah.
Hmm, easy. And this process is called rationalization, where behaviors or feelings are justified and explained in a seemingly rational or logical manner to avoid the true explanation, and are made consciously tolerable or even admirable.
Hmm.
Well, in this context, sometimes it even works like, yes, I'm my own boss. This is my business. I will decide what I'm doing right now. Okay, I decide I don't want to call right now. I want to use my opportunity to go outside and enjoy the sun. So yes, I will do it tomorrow.
Yes, I will do it tomorrow. But the thing is, but if you didn't deal with the source of emotions tomorrow, you might face exactly the same pattern.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we are at risk of the same pattern, and if that happens, other things will overlap. For example, the person might start to feel guilty. Also, in the longer term, imagine the worst case scenario. After a quarter or a month of avoiding calling, you get to catch up with the manager about your productivity. What are you going to say? Well, I could arrange the phone calls, but I have to clean down the house, cut the grass, go shopping, and so on.
Yeah, This is a great explanation how emotion can stop us while we try to do the most important thing in our business, actually.
Yes, that's true. And look, this is just about the calling session, but we experience emotions in many other contexts.
Yes, for example, when we make 10 calls and don't secure an appointment.
Yeah, what emotions might appear?
I don't know, like frustration, anger, or disappointment,
Fear maybe as well.
maybe.
Well, especially if you are a commission-based only guy. You know the saying, don't sell, lead.
Yes.
Another example can be when you booked 8 appointments for a week and all are cancelled.
Whoa, have you ever experienced that?
Yes.
Oh
At the
man,
beginning of my career, yeah,
I
as a
believe.
freelance advisor, I had a week where I had 8 appointments booked over a week, and all 8 didn't happen. It was in the worst way as well. The customers didn't let me know; they just didn't open the door.
Oh man. In my case, I remember a time on the way to a meeting, a client sent me text message saying that we couldn't meet, and on the way back, I got 2 more text messages from the other clients that day, also canceling. I felt emotions such as frustration, discouragement, and lack of energy for the future actions.
Yeah. Well, look, you work hard, you did your
Yeah,
job, you called people, you made appointments, and you didn't get results.
exactly.
Advisors often feel disrespected or even cheated in this situation.
Well, true. When you said that, you remind me that I feel disrespected as well. I just, at the same time, I just realized that they have right to cancel the appointment actually, but the emotion appeared.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. What about trying to close sales?
I wasn't happy with that, and also I needed to explain that to my customer.
Crazy.
Yeah,
But
it
this
is.
is how it works. If you are not careful enough.
You might forgotten that you need to rethink rationally what to do with this money. Not all the money which comes to your bank account is your salary actually.